Dylan, what the hell is this? Why aren't you using your full setup? How come you're not facing the wall? Chill out. Well, yeah, it can't be exactly the same every time, otherwise it's gonna get stale, and I'm gonna wear out my welcome, which is so out of character for me. How could anyone anywhere get tired of this? So at the time of releasing this, I have just sent out 5 short pieces that I have done for the Bad Theater Fest. People who've been following me for a while might remember that I made stuff for these guys like years and years ago on a totally different channel. Star Kendall and Sean Wickens, 2 New Yorkian comedian aliens, not aliens, they're human beings. But they run 2 events that alternate between each other, the Bad Film Fest and the Bad Theater Fest. Each one focuses on the medium that which it is named after, although there is a bit of overlap between the 2 because some recorded media of some kind usually pops up at these things when, they host them. But they're done with the express purpose of encouraging people to just go out and make stuff, regardless of how bad it might be, how embarrassing or cringy it might be. And that's a valuable thing when you're trying to be a creative or an artist, whatever you want to call it, because it can be tough to put yourself out there. That's why I gravitated towards the thing years ago when I did submit stuff the first couple years that I was aware of them. Here's some old footage from another collection of stuff that I sent to them that I had collected over the course of like a year or 2. They played it at a film festival. It's good to know that hard to look at pseudo-intellectual me would eventually blossom into the more self-aware, not afraid to wear all the way real fake glasses motherfucker that you see before you today. Maturity certainly is a wonderful thing. I fell off the wagon and couldn't make the time necessary to make other entries. They had a bit of a hiatus themselves, but now they're back for Bad Theater Fest 2019. What you're watching right now is an omnibus. For those of you who don't like vocabulary words like I do, it basically means an anthology or a collection of sorts, comprised of little bits and pieces of comedy and other art that, assuming it went over well and they liked it enough to use it, was played in between the stage performances that were the main attraction for this particular festival. If you want more information, I'll leave links down below. They have some legacy merch that you can pick up if you're interested in the brand. The 2 of them have their own solo projects that I think are worth checking out, and who knows, they might start dropping deets for the next program sometime in the near future. And if that's the case, you're gonna want to get on that. Mark your calendars. People still use those, right? So without further ado, here are my 5 submissions of filler interstitial works that ran at the Bad Theater Fest 2019. I hope you enjoy. This is a C chord. I like these because they sound good without any effort. I mean, what'd you think? Something was gonna happen? There's such a snake eating its own tail relationship with anxiety. Because if you have anxiety but aren't really woke enough to what anxiety is and how to deal with it, it will keep you from doing things that would help you get rid of it. When I first started taking steps with the anxiety, I tried getting a physical. And the first time in years that I tried to get one, you know what happens? I freaked at the last minute and didn't follow through with it. I showed up with gum in my mouth, and the lady there was like, you're chewing gum. I'm like, yeah, I can get rid of it. So I spit the fucking gum out. And then she like talks to someone behind her. It's like, hey, he was chewing gum and you're not supposed to like take anything. I hadn't had any water. I hadn't had breakfast. I did everything else you're quote unquote not supposed to do. And then someone straight up told her, yeah, gum should be fine. And it was a weird enough interaction for me to just be like, no, abort. I'd rather just have AIDS and not know. Fuck me, dude.
Hey, Jerry. Thanks for having me over to roast brats.
Sure thing, Ben. I mean, just because it's fall now doesn't mean we can't pretend it's summer a little longer. You know what I'm saying?
Amen to that.
Give me your money.
Holy smokes!
Ah, Jerry, the grill.
Oh man, this isn't good.
I said, give me your money.
Are you out of your mind? My deck's on fire. Ben, do something.
Man, I would, Jerry, but I'm so dehydrated.
What?
Well, if I'm thirsty, I don't see how you expect me to take on an armed robber.
Are you serious?
Especially in this heat.
It is pretty hot out here.
Well, great. We're getting robbed. My whole life could go up in flames, and you're not going to help because you're thirsty? What am I supposed to do now?
What if I told you I could solve all your problems with one revolutionary product?
Who the hell are you?
Introducing water. Water! Oxygen, hydrogen, two amazing molecules on their own. But take two of one and one of the other, put them together, and you've got a party. Water! Put out the fire, quench your thirst. Stop the mugging.
Tried this one on for size criminal. Had enough.
I'm just gonna take this and mosey on out of here.
My wallet. Oh, jeez.
Huh. I mean, it did those first two things perfectly well, but I guess the last one wasn't all that practical, huh, Jerry? 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 You want a brat? I mean, they're a little wet now, but still good.